Dear students, in the previous video we were discussing the concept of Platon diffusion and Boltzmann's behavior of traffic flow. This is the second part of that. So in the first part we have defined Platon, and again Platons usually in traffic they are created by civilized intersections which controls the pattern of vehicles, and this can be used for coordinating the signals. This theory or Platon diffusion theory can be used for effectively coordinating the signals. And we have seen the various Platon characteristics or variables that could explain the Platon behavior, which include the Platon size, the Platon headway, the Platon speed, and the inter-arrival headway. So these were the different things that we discussed in the part 1 video. Next term is the Platon ratio. Platon ratio is a numerical value which is used to quantify the progression of traffic in an approach. So it's usually dependent upon the number of vehicles that are entering into the intersection area to the green time available for this movement or progression of the traffic. So it is given by the ratio of the proportion of vehicles entering during the green time to the green interval. Okay, the proportion of the green interval of the cycle. But the Platon ratio represents the ratio number of vehicles arriving during the green phase to the proportion of green interval of the total cycle. So it is actually P divided by G by C, which is the proportion of green interval of the total cycle. It is given by G by C, where G is the effective green time and C is the cycle length. Okay, and the numerator becomes P, which is a proportion of all vehicles during green time. So we can write this as P into C by G. So Platon ratio, it is nothing but it's a numerical value which we can use to quantify the quality of progression on an approach. So it depends upon the number of vehicles that are arriving during the green time. Okay? So that is what is represented by, or the proportion of vehicles during the green time. So which is given as P, and again the denominator becomes G by C. It's again proportion of the green interval of the total cycle. Then its value ranges from 0.5 to 2, and this can be used for calculating the delays, capacity of an approach, etc. So if this green interval is very small compared to that of the proportion of vehicles entering the intersection area, so this can lead to increased queue length, and that may further lead to delay and congestion. So this is how we can define the Platon ratio. And the Platon ratio, you can have a connection between the Platon ratio and the arrival type. So the arrival type, it varies from 1 to 6. So 1 will be representing the worst Platon condition and 6 will be representing the best Platon condition. So the Platon ratio, it approximates the arrival type and the progression quality. So HCM has suggested the following relationship between the Platon ratio and the arrival type. So there are 6 arrival types defined by HCM, ranging from 1 to 6. So 1 represents very poor quality of progression and 6 represent exceptional progression quality. And from the Platon ratio, we can actually connect between this arrival type or its progression quality. Arrival type from 1 to 6, it represents a progression quality also. So this progression type or the arrival type can be connected to the Platon ratio. So from P divided by the proportion of effective green time will give us the Platon ratio. So if it is less than 0.5, it is a very poor progression, and if it is in the range of 0.5 to 0.85, for a default value, if we are taking that to be 0.667, say if we are using this in any calculations, we can use RP default value as 0.667. So that is the importance of this default one. In simulation purpose or in any calculations, we can use this default value. The other one, the range of Platon ratio, it actually gives a range. Okay. So unfavorable means RP will be in the range of 0.5 to 0.85, of which we are considering the default value to be 0.667, a value that is coming between this range. Okay, and if it is random arrival, then the platoon ratio will be in the range of 0.85 to 1.15. Then favorable means the RP should be in the range of 1.15 to 1.50, and 1.5 to 2, if the platoon ratio, if it is between 1.5 to 2, it is considered as highly favorable, and if it is greater than 2, it's the best quality of progression. So this is how the HCM has come up with a relation between the arrival type and the range of platoon ratio. So that's the application of the platoon ratio. It's nothing but the proportion of vehicles during the green time divided by again the proportion of the green time available. Okay, so it depends upon the number of vehicles that is entering into the intersection area during the green time and how much green time is available. Of the total cycle length in a particular approach, how much green time is available. So based on that, we can get the platoon ratio, and this platoon ratio based on which or we can actually connect between the platoon ratio and the arrival type. So HCM has suggested the following relationship as given in this table to connect between the platoon ratio and the arrival time. Now let's discuss the concept of platoon dispersion. So what do you mean by platoon dispersion? Say here in the figure also you can see there are two intersections. One at the upstream side and the second one at the downstream side. You can see the direction of traffic flow from the upstream to the downstream signal. Okay. So when queued vehicles, when the queued vehicles depart from an intersection at the start of a green phase, how they do travel? They travel in a very closely spaced manner. Okay, so when the queued vehicles depart from an intersection after the start of a green phase, they are usually closely spaced. So these closely spaced groupings of vehicles, they are referred to as platoons. So what happens to this platoon as they move downstream? So one of the goal of signal coordination is to maintain these platoon of vehicles and allow them to arrive at the successive downstream intersection on the green itself. Okay, but however, this platoon progress along the length of roadway between signals. So what happens if there is a group of vehicle which are moving together from one signal? What happens later? You might also have experienced this while you are driving. So when you are released from an intersection during the green time, you can see a group of vehicles surrounding you. But as you move forward, as you reach the next intersection, you may not be able to find this group of vehicles. But if this same group of vehicle could arrive at the next intersection also during the green time, then that is a perfect progression. But that may not be always the ideal. That is the ideal case, but that may not be actually happening in the real condition. Okay, so what happens, however, as the platoon progress along the length of the roadway between the signals, the individual drivers within these platoons, they begin to adjust their speeds and the platoon begin to disperse, right? This is what happens while we are driving on the road. So you can see when you are leaving from a particular intersection, you can see a group of vehicles surrounding you. But when you reach the next intersection, you may not be able to find them. Why? Some vehicles will be there, but you cannot find the entire group of vehicles. So this happens because one vehicle may speed up, other may slow down. So because of this dispersion, you may not be able to find the same group of vehicle at the next intersection. So this is what is a platoon dispersion. So the greater the distance between the signals, more pronounced will be the dispersion, right? If more distance you need to cover, then each driver can adjust himself, and thereby the dispersion will also increase. So eventually reaching a point at which the flow of traffic along the arterial, it will become random. Okay, so as the distance is so high, so it can result in a condition where again the random arrival of vehicles will happen. So the random arrival you have studied in the last semester. So if the distance or other frictional factors are so high, then this platoon might disperse into individual vehicles, and at the next intersection downstream you can see random arrival pattern. Okay, so although platoon dispersion is primarily a function of Broadway length between the signals, the character of land use surrounding the roadway will also have an impact over the platoon dispersion. Say for example, there is another roadway coming and meeting in between, or there is curbside activities like parking, bus stops, etc. are there, or some other the land use pattern which will induce this platoon dispersion. Okay, so that will also contribute to the platoon dispersion effect. So we can say that intuitively logical, we can say that since the longer the travel time or more distance to be covered, the opportunity for different drivers to deviate from the average travel time will also be more. Thereby, more diffusion will happen or more dispersion of platoon will happen. So here in this figure, you can see there is an upstream signal or upstream intersection, and there is an downstream intersection, and the direction of flow is also given. So when departing from the upstream intersection, you can see the right hand side represents how much vehicles are getting dispersed. Okay, so a simple case of platoon dispersion is shown in this figure. So from the figure, it can be observed that initially the peak of the platoon is high. Okay, so it actually represents the flow. So saturation flow, the departure flow, which is represented in terms of saturation flow. So it is 100%. So from the figure, you can observe that initially the peak of the platoon is high and the length of the platoon is comparatively low. Okay, you can see the x-axis, the length of the platoon is comparatively low. But as the platoon progresses downstream, you can see the peak of the platoon decreases and the length of the platoon increases. So when you see at the downstream end, you can see there is considerable reduction in the peak, but the length of the platoon have increased. So the longer the travel time between the signals, the greater will be the dispersion. So when a platoon of vehicles is released from a traffic signal, the degree to which this platoon has dispersed at the next signal in part determines whether the significant benefits can be achieved from signal coordination. Okay, so this is also another platoon dispersion figure, which is from Transit 7F flow profile. So Transit, it's a traffic network study tool. It has become one of the most widely used models for signal network timing. It was developed in 1968 by Robertson of the UK Transport and Road Research Laboratory, TRRL. Okay, so this platoon dispersion models, it was actually developed by Robertson, and this and it's named after him, Robertson model. Okay, so this transit, they have several versions after it has released. So this is Transit 7F. So 7 denotes the 7th TRRL version, and F symbolizes the Federal Highway Administration version using the North American nomenclature for input and output. So this is a figure again showing the platoon dispersion rate, where it is shown in a three-dimensional way. The x-axis is the time, the y-axis is the flow rate, and z-axis is the distance covered. So initially you can see in this figure also the peak of the platoon is high and the length of the platoon is small. But as the platoon progresses downstream, the peak of the platoon decreases and the length increases. So that is regarding the platoon dispersion concept.